Thank you for stopping in and watching this video. My name is Anthony Richardson, and I am a certified minority-owned fire alarm and security company here in New York City. We are licensed by New York State to install fire alarm and security systems. And today in this video, I'm going to go over a Dahua Wi-Fi PTZ camera. This is not a PoE camera that works over power over Ethernet. However, it works with a separate power supply, and you connect it straight either to your router. You can connect to it Wi-Fi, directly connect to your router. This Wi-Fi PTZ, 2 megapixels, wide dynamic range. Power supply is actually sold separately. You can get both these items on our website. The link will be in the description box. However, the power supply is sold separately, but you could use any 12-volt, 1.5 amp power supply to power this camera up. So let's go inside and see what the components of this camera is. So some of the things you're gonna need, of course, is the power supply. You're gonna need a cable, a network cable, just to configure the camera. Then after that, the camera will be able to work on this Wi-Fi. I have another video that I'm doing that's going to show you how to set this camera up. This video is just going to be explaining what the components are of this particular camera, and I can explain how you would actually set this up. So let's see what we got going on the inside. So we have the camera, and like I said, it has 2 connector ports, one Cat 45 or RJ 45 connector, and one for the power supply. So the power, if you're gonna install it in another location, maybe outside or in another room, you're gonna have to be able to run local power to the camera to power the camera up once you configure it with the Wi-Fi settings. So you will power the camera up, plug it into an outlet, a regular outlet, when you're setting it up, and then you would have your regular laptop or computer, something with an RJ45 port, something that you could connect to it directly, locally, so that way you can create its own local network. So you want to disconnect your computer or laptop from your Wi-Fi or from your house router. So you want to disconnect that connection and only have a standalone laptop or computer with just this IP Wi-Fi camera. So you would connect this to your computer. You will type in a default IP address of this camera, put another IP address that's on the same scheme of that computer. So if this IP address is 192.168.0.1, you will make your laptop 192.168.0.100. So that way they could be on the same scheme. Once you connect to it, then inside there, you can configure the IP address, make it Wi-Fi, have it still a hard connection with the Ethernet. You can set up the PTZ functions. You could give it names, a bunch of different things you could do inside there. So you have this camera. And don't forget your antenna. You're going to want to be able to install this antenna once you finish putting this camera up. You have your mounting plate here. So if you're going to mount it on a wall, concrete, sheetrock, or on a ceiling, you want to use this little template so that way you know exactly where to drill the holes at. This right here is your instruction manual, and this is the warranty information here. Also inside here, you have your mounting hardware. It comes with 3 anchors and 3 screws. You have an Allen key to open up this particular camera. Now, this camera does not come with a SD drive, and it could hold up to a max 32 gig SD drive. So the SD drive, you will have to buy that separately from somewhere else in order for you to store footage locally to the camera. But the camera will not be able to store any footage or anything on its hard drive because there is no hard drive. So this camera would just be for viewing purposes only if you do not have an SD card. So you may want to make sure you purchase an SD card if you're going to pick this camera up. Once you got the camera open, the SD card goes in right here, this little slot right here. And when this thing powers up, this little LED on this side is going to go through a self-check. It's going to pan, it's going to tilt, and it's going to zoom. And once the functions are finished setting, it's like a self-test to make sure all the functions are working with this inside this PTZ camera. Then once you set it up, you can install your camera, and then you can view it remotely on your phone. I have another video that you can watch to show you how you can set it up on your phone. So you can watch it here.